Not until you calm down.
You have no idea who you're dealing with.
I know you're a guest, and guests don't hit my staff.
Elena, that's enough.
Do you know who I am? Her voice sliced through the room, dripping with arrogance. Cameras were already rolling when the slap landed. Sharp, humiliating, unforgettable. The black waitress didn't fight back. She just stood there silent, while the billionaire's girlfriend smirked, believing her power made her untouchable. But that silence, it wasn't weakness. It was the calm before a storm that would shake the world's most privileged circles. This is the story of pride, power, and poetic justice, of how one cruel moment unraveled an empire. Welcome. Story lovers, from where are you watching? Hit the like button and drop your city name in the comments so we can see how far our story travels. It was supposed to be just another Friday night at the Amber Room, the city's most exclusive restaurant, the kind of place where chandeliers glowed like gold and every table whispered stories of power. For Naomi Clark, the black waitress assigned to the VIP section, it was another shift on tired feet, another night of grace under pressure. She crept, her professionalism a shield against the subtle looks and comments that sometimes followed her. Naomi had learned to smile through them, the kind of smiles that weren't for happiness, but survival. The regulars knew her as kind, efficient, and calm, no matter the chaos swirling around her. She dreamed of saving enough to finish her degree, of building a future where she wouldn't have to serve those who looked down on her. But for now, this was her world. Silver trays, spotless uniforms, and the unspoken rule that people like her stayed invisible. That night, a billionaire named Ethan Rhodes had reserved the private corner table. Cameras often caught his face at charity galas, the man who gave back, the one who seemed to care. But it was the woman beside him who drew every eye. Clara Voss, his glamorous girlfriend, dressed in white silk that shimmered like arrogance itself. Her laughter filled the room, loud, commanding, the sound of someone who believed the world existed for her amusement. Naomi didn't notice the first look Clara gave her. Or maybe she did, and pretended not to. The kind of look that measured, not met. The kind that said, remember your place. Still, Naomi kept moving, balancing plates and pride in equal measure. Outside, rain began to fall, tapping against the restaurant windows like a quiet warning. Naomi had no idea that before the night ended, her silence would speak louder than anyone's words, and that what was about to happen would echo far beyond these golden walls. The restaurant's hum deepened as the night wore on, forks clinking, soft jazz weaving through candlelight. Naomi glided between tables, calm and precise, while inside her feet ached and her stomach tightened with fatigue. She'd been on her shift since noon. Still, when she reached Ethan Rhodes' table, she adjusted her apron and forced her most genuine smile. Clara Voss didn't return it. She sat reclined, her diamond bracelet catching every glint of light as if demanding attention. Her eyes drifted over Naomi like she was a speck of dust. When Naomi politely asked if she could take their order, Clara didn't answer. She waved, dismissive, as if the question didn't deserve sound. Ethan laughed softly, saying something Naomi couldn't hear, and Clara finally leaned forward, her voice cutting through the low music. Make sure my plate's hot this time. Last time it wasn't. Naomi nodded, though she'd never served her before. She turned away, pretending the sting didn't reach her. She'd dealt with worse. But something about Clara's tone, the icy mockery beneath it, lingered. When Naomi returned with their dishes, the tension at the table was almost visible. Ethan was on his phone, barely listening, while Clara toyed with her glass of wine. Naomi carefully set the plates down, but a small drop of sauce landed on the edge of Clara's napkin. It was hardly noticeable, but Clara saw it and smiled, a cold, cruel smile. She waited for silence to settle, then said loudly enough for nearby tables to hear, "Do you people ever learn how to do anything right?" Naomi froze. The words landed like a slap before the real one came. A sharp crack split the air, the sound of Clara's hand striking Naomi's face. Gasps rippled across the restaurant. A fork dropped somewhere in the distance. Ethan's phone fell onto the table as his eyes widened, shock blending with fear. For a second, Naomi didn't move. The room blurred, faces staring, phones lifting, recording. Clara stood tall, satisfied, brushing her hand as if wiping away something dirty. Security rushed forward, but Naomi stopped them with a quiet shake of her head. She didn't speak. She didn't cry. She simply picked up the fallen napkin, folded it neatly, and walked toward the kitchen, her dignity more intact than anyone expected. Behind her, whispers grew louder. Someone murmured, "Did she just—" Another voice. "That's the billionaire's girlfriend." And then, "It's all on camera." Naomi's hands trembled as she stepped into the staff room. Her face burned, but not from the slap, from the humiliation. Every instinct told her to fight back, to speak, to demand justice. But something inside her whispered, "Wait." By morning, the whisper had turned into a storm. The first video appeared online before sunrise. A shaky clip from a diner's phone captioned, "Billionaire's girlfriend assaults waitress," for no reason. Within hours, it spread across platforms like wildfire. Hashtags exploded. News outlets picked it up. Comment sections raged with disbelief and fury. At the Amber Room, reporters gathered outside, cameras flashing. Ethan Rhodes's PR team went into overdrive, releasing statements about unfortunate misunderstandings. But no one believed them. The world had seen the truth. The calm strength in Naomi's silence, the arrogance in Clara's smirk. And Naomi, she didn't speak to the press. She didn't post a word. She simply went back to work the next day, head held high, while the world around her began to turn on the woman who thought she was untouchable. Clara's name trended for all the wrong reasons. Her brand partnerships vanished overnight. The invitations stopped. But the worst was yet to come, because the slap that echoed through one restaurant was about to dismantle an entire empire. By the third day, Clara Voss's world was collapsing faster than she could hide. The video had gone beyond viral. It was everywhere. Morning shows replayed it, activists dissected it, and former employees stepped forward, telling stories that mirrored what millions had already seen in 20 seconds of cruelty. At first, Clara tried to deny. She claimed it was edited, that Naomi had provoked her. But every frame told the truth. Her raised hand, Naomi's stillness, the disbelief of the crowd. The evidence didn't need words. Ethan Rhodes, desperate to salvage his image, held a press conference. Cameras flashed as he stood before microphones, his jaw tense. When reporters asked if he condoned her behavior, he hesitated, just long enough for everyone to see the answer in his silence. Hours later, his company's board released a statement. He was stepping down temporarily. Naomi watched it all unfold from the break room, her phone buzzing endlessly with notifications. She hadn't wanted revenge, only respect. But the world had taken up her voice for her, and then came the final blow. Clara arrived at the Amber Room uninvited, her face hidden behind sunglasses. She demanded to see the manager, to explain, but the staff stood firm. Naomi emerged quietly from the back, not in uniform this time. She was there to sign her resignation. For a fleeting moment, their eyes met. One filled with regret, the other with peace. The woman who had once slapped her now trembled before her. "Dear audience, where are you watching from? Drop your city name in the comments!" Naomi didn't stay at the Amber Room. She didn't need to. Within weeks, her quiet dignity had become a symbol, a reminder that silence, too, can roar. News anchors spoke her name with respect. Brands reached out with offers, and charities invited her to talk about grace under pressure. But Naomi didn't chase the spotlight. She chose peace. She enrolled back in school, finishing the degree she'd once put aside. Every time she walked through campus, strangers nodded, not in pity, but in admiration. The woman who had been humiliated for her skin color now stood taller than those who once looked down on her. As for Clara, her fall was relentless. Sponsors dropped her, her social media pages filled with outrage, and every event she'd been invited to vanished. The same cameras that once adored her now recorded her apologies. But no words could undo what millions had witnessed, or the quiet strength that had defeated her cruelty. Ethan disappeared from headlines soon after. His wealth remained, but his reputation did not. And somewhere beneath it all, a lesson lingered, that power means nothing when it stands on someone else's pain. Naomi often said nothing about that night. But sometimes, when the world seemed loud with injustice, she'd whisper the truth to herself. Respect is not given by status. It's earned by humanity. So, ask yourself, in a world obsessed with power, what truly makes someone untouchable? Thanks for watching. Subscribe for more true, powerful stories that make us think.